to Sunday Recap. I am here with, of course, Rev Amy.
Hello.
And our very special guest, Nathan, who actually preached on Sunday.
Yes.
So, as a co-host, would you like to ask the magic question?
Hey Nathan, Nana usually puts me on the spot, but it's my pleasure to put you on the spot this morning and say, can you give us a 3-minute summary of your message from Sunday?
I started off with sort of a very weird metaphor about aftershave. I mean, more about how being stuck in your ways is like not a great thing, because once you start to accept things, normally it's always for the better. And then I started looking at the story of Saul and his encounter with Jesus and how that led to him becoming this great man who was able to preach and talk about Jesus, but most importantly the power of forgiveness and love that Jesus has given us. I mean, he was able to, with this one encounter, change someone like Saul into Paul, and I think that was just like an amazing thing. And also just echoing the fact that there's nothing we could ever do or nothing we can do that will stop Jesus from loving us and giving us opportunities and guiding us to do what we are always meant to do. And
That was a good summary. Thank you very much, Nathan. You touched on the power of forgiveness. Would you like to, expand a bit about that and how it kind of transpired through the sermon?
I think forgiveness is always such a tricky concept to understand, because I think, when you realise you've done something bad, it's like, that's it, it's done. I'm not a horrible person. No one's ever gonna like me again. But forgiveness is a process of someone accepting your mistake, but then letting it go and allowing you to change and be better. And I think a lot of the times Christians, we forget that about Jesus especially, because we see him like this perfect man who saved us, but we forget that he saved us. He didn't save just a certain group of people, he saved everyone. And he forgave everyone despite everything we've done, and still does to this day. So I think that's just a quite important thing to talk about.
Nathan, you spoke on the story of Saul, and we know, that Saul's conversion was pretty dramatic and drastic. And so talk to us about the story of Saul and his encounter with Jesus.
Saul, he was this Pharisee who was going around imprisoning and butchering Christians everywhere, which way he could go. But on his way to Damascus, he meets Jesus. Jesus just appears in a bright flash of bright white light, and he becomes blind. And Jesus calls him to go to this place, and I'm going to send someone to come and baptize you. And that's where you have Ananias come into the story, who questions Jesus, but Jesus tells him, you have to do this because, just because of what he's done doesn't define him as what I know him to be. And so, Ananias goes to baptize him, and then Saul is filled with the Holy Spirit and is so happy and overjoyed that he just instantly rushes out to learn more and be taught about Christianity, and then spread it to other people who then see this amazing change and just go, well, then, this must be true. I mean, if someone like Saul could be converted, why not me? And I should, start learning more about this Jesus guy.
Yeah, no, the story of Saul's conversion to Paul speaks of transformation. And that is something that each and every one of us go through when we're encountering Jesus. So, Amy, I'll pass the baton back to you.
Okay.
When it comes to our encounters with Jesus, transformation looks different for everyone, right?
Absolutely. And I think one of the things I absolutely love about Acts chapter 9, Saul's Damascus Road encounter is how it's known. But the reality is most of us don't have that story. And sometimes when we hear testimonies of people, particularly at Christian events, it's these big, huge, dramatic, why we call Damascus roads. I was doing one thing and then wow, the next thing happened. The reality is for most of us, the journey towards Jesus is more gradual than that. Maybe we accept an invitation to Alpha, maybe we hear something. A lot of the time for people, maybe they attend a funeral or a wedding and they hear something about who Jesus is, and it starts that little process of, wait, who is this? What does this mean for me? And then you know, Paul is on a very fixed path. You know, he's literally walking the route to Damascus. He's going to round the Christians up. And what I love is that Jesus just totally interrupts it. Saul keeps on the same path to Damascus, but the purpose changes. Some of us are on a very straight path of what we think life is about, and are we willing to be interrupted by Jesus? When that question comes, when something bad happens, when someone offers us a chance to explore who Jesus is, are we willing to take it? Or does God need to be drastic the way he was? Saul needed a drastic encounter. He was very set in his ways. He literally, in the light of who Jesus is blinded because he's completely, it turns his life upside down. Many of us, I think, maybe wish we had that kind of story, because then maybe we would feel absolute confidence. Hey, why doesn't God just appear to me like the way he did to Saul?
Right.
Actually, God's on a journey with you. Maybe there's more of an openness in your heart. See, it's because of how far Saul was convinced he was doing the right thing that I think God had to be super drastic with. I find the Holy Spirit's much more gentle. You know, it's those little conversations, it's those moments where you just know that God is real and keep walking with him. Don't make yourself have to be literally blinded before God is healing can come and open your eyes again. Transformation does look different.
You know, Nathan, in your sermon on Sunday, there was a line that really stood out for me, and you kind of gave the analogy of what it looks like when we haven't encountered Jesus in our lives. You said that, you know, when we close our eyes, it's almost like, well, we're in total darkness, we can't see, you know, you can't walk with any direction or purpose, you know, you'll probably fumble or bump into something. And so, you know, can you just maybe expand a little bit more about what it looks like to encounter Jesus?
Yeah, just like following my analogy, it's once you're able to open your eyes and see, you get a sense of direction, you get a sense of purpose, you know. It's not aimlessly trying to figure out where to go next or where you find happiness and joy, you know. Once you open your eyes, you can see it, and that's what Jesus wants us to do. It's not, you know, for him to just pass the time and just, you know, have a jolly. He wants you to, like, really see that there's more to life than bumping into things, you know. You're going to bump into things regardless of opening your eyes, and I know I do. But, you know, even then you still have the sense of guidance and direction that you get, and that sense of joy from, you know, being able to see Jesus.
Yeah, sounds good. I mean, if you do anything this week, make sure you watch the replay of Nathan's sermon on Sunday. It was absolutely fantastic. Have to give you kudos, and to the rest of the youth who led the service on Sunday as well. Well done to you guys. It was an amazing service. And you know, thank you, Rev Amy, for joining us again on Sunday Recap. We have a few events happening this week. Of course, Alpha is on Thursday evening at 7 o'clock here at St. Luke's. So if you have any questions about faith, about life, just want to explore a bit more about Christianity, we're going to be gathered here Thursday at St. Luke's. For our Alpha course, there's going to be food, and it's just a relaxed atmosphere. So come, bring someone maybe who you know has questions about life and about faith, and let's explore together. On Saturday morning, we have our women's breakfast from 10:30. So if you're a woman or a lady, and Luke's ladies, if you're part of the Luke's ladies, you're welcome here on Saturday morning at 10:30 for our women's breakfast. Nathan, thank you very much.
Good job.
For Sunday, it was amazing. Thank you for joining us on Sunday Recap. We are also going to have Sunday Recap on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook, on all our social media platforms. You know the drill. You know where to find us. If you have any comments to share, please put them in the comment section below. We'd love to read them, and we will be back next Sunday with another session of Sunday Recap. So have a good week, and we'll see you then.
Bye guys.